Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Crush Fam Podcast. I am your host, Cantherion, aka Chris Crush Jacob, because Chris Crush will make the ball. Jump, jump. We had to get one in. We had to partake in ye old double media, and so we are going to talk about the fantasy draft experience, specifically the Crush Fam Fantasy Group number 1. We've got the whole draft here. We're going to break down the whole list. We will have a winner. We are going to analyze this, give out an honorary title to whoever wins. I think it can last the whole season. Will I do podcasts every week after this? Not necessarily. So we'll give them the whole season. So I will at least give them a minimum 2 shout-outs since we're doing every other week. And in order to make this analysis, we are joined by everyone's favorite media manager and recent Miners Ambassador winner, Pirate Captain Dom, Crozier McCoy. How you feeling, Dom?
Um, I guess the main point of this podcast now is to just give people fictional titles. I'm doing pretty good, man. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I didn't give you the title of Miners Ambassador. I was completely
No,
out of the loop
no,
there.
I meant media and
Oh yeah, I keep
yeah,
changing what your media title is. I don't know
the
why.
czar of media.
Media mogul. Yeah, Media Czar was probably my best one though, for sure.
Yes, it's the one that's made me laugh the hardest because of the absurdity.
Well, I'm here to entertain. So if I succeeded in entertaining you, then like my life is complete. I'm unofficially retiring now. No, we're not doing that.
Goodbye, Chris Jacob.
That's it. That's the end. And also joining us, I think non-silent guest, but we'll find out. Sonic Gmail, aka Glenallen Mixon. Are you with us tonight?
I'll chime in every now and then. You know,
I'll take
I'm
it.
I'm I'm coming back from I'm not trying to derail this already, okay? But I'm coming back from a wedding that had an open bar, so I'm just vibing right now.
Oh my God.
Wow. All right. All
Who
right.
would let him get near that?
I mean, they just let anyone into that wedding, I guess. I don't know. No, it's great. Glad to have you, and yeah, we won't pick on you too much, too much. And we've got a new entrant joining us at least for the first portion, Sportsboy57, with a player of the same name. How goes it tonight? Uh oh.
Is
Oh,
Oh, there we
it's
go.
a full dark room with a blazing screen, so not very good
uh,
eyes
Not very
entrance
nice.
on the podcast, and I hope if it doesn't, then okay.
Listen, I don't do editing. We don't. Okay, two rules. I don't do editing, and we don't do fact checking. So everything you say will make it on the podcast. Whether or not that gets us banned is not up to me.
Iso tried his best.
He really did. It's true. We've talked about accidental tampering on here, and we're still going. So I think we're okay.
I don't really even think it was accidental.
It it was intentional, but it was accidental in that the rules were not. People weren't aware of the rules, maybe necessarily.
I could plead ignorance. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't really think PBE accepts ignorance pleas, but I could.
true. But let's start off. Sportsboy mentioned before we got started that he's going to have to get going here pretty shortly. So I just want to get to know you a little bit because that's my favorite part of these podcasts. A little bit of background on myself. So I'm a big Cubs fan. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. And my grandfather was like a huge inspiration and the main reason why I got into the Cubs. He was like stereotypical Chicago fan. So what's your baseball or sports otherwise background?
Both of my parents are from suburbs of Chicago, both Cubs fans. I was actually just in Chicago I went to Wrigley Field, didn't see a game though, and I've been born and raised in the LA area, the suburbs, not downtown. I would never there or live there. And so yeah, I've been a Dodgers fan, been a past couple years, but we finally won. And so into playing it, I've been playing it my life. Really giving away age, but
You okay?
sport, and I actually came here from the VHL hockey simulation.
Oh, cool.
Kind of a little bit, and so and I'm desperate for money. So that's
Well, double media is definitely the best time to come into a podcast. Absolutely. So we'll get you at least that 2 millis. But the longer you stick around, the more I can pay you. So stay around as long as you can. And very cool. It's being a Dodgers fan is pretty easy. It's kind of easy mode, but that's all right.
very, very easy.
I think there is nothing wrong. There's this weird, annoying stereotype around sports that you have to suffer to be a sports fan. And if you want to be a fan of a good team, all the fucking power to you. I think people who bully fans of good teams because they're bandwagoners or whatever, I think they're cringy as hell. You just gotta let people live their life.
Wow. I mean, no, I don't. I have a podcast where I get to say whatever I want. So I'm gonna bully
that
people all day. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? No, I hear you. The only people I bully as sports fans are the ones who are like, who mention like 3 or 4 teams that are their quote unquote favorite team in one sport. So the people who are like, especially in the Bay Area, where they're like, I love the A's, and I also love the Padres, and I also love the Dodgers, and you're like, that can't be a thing.
Interesting.
Like, you can't just like all of the Bay Area teams like those are your team. I'm not okay with that, especially when the teams are in the same division. I'm more accepting. As a Chicago fan, if someone's like, I like the Cubs and the White Sox, I'm okay with that. I have no problems with that. You're talking opposite ends of the league. That's fine.
I don't think most of Chicago would accept that, though.
I mean, I don't know. For me, the rivalry with the Cardinals is way bigger than the inter-town rivalry. I think the inter-town rivalry is a fake rivalry, if I'm being honest. Like, a lot of my friends were Sox fans. I didn't care. Like, we grew up in poor suburbs, so more of my friends were Sox fans than Cubs fans for sure. But I think you're right. I think me saying that, a lot of Cubs fans are just like, how dare you forsake the
How many
team.
Cubs fans listen to this podcast?
1, 2, 3. My parents. Shout out to Crush Mom and Crush Dad. And I think Bauer listens occasionally. So I'm going to count that as 3.
Okay.
And then I'll listen for editing purposes, so that's 4.
Your own podcast?
Yeah, so occasionally. But, like, it's one of those...
You said there was no editing.
Yeah, there is no editing. It's... Okay, so it's not for editing purposes, it's for, like, future changes. So, like, I'll listen and be like, oh, next time don't do that.
So wait, you're telling me
Very on topic.
You're telling me that your parents are hearing me act like a fool right now?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, my parents have heard a lot worse. Don't worry.
Hey,
heard some
how's
things.
it,
You go on this podcast once. You're fine.
how's it going? How's it going, guys?
Wow.
Have a good marriage. That's the theme of tonight's show.
My parents divorced like 20 years ago. But
Never
they're awesome
mind.
people.
I'm sorry
They're
I said
both
that.
in very
I think
happy
your
marriages now.
advice is a little late, Sonic.
20 years too late.
I think you're gonna have to be a little faster next time.
It was good. No, it was a very good thing. It's a very good thing. They've both, for both of my parents, third time's the charm. They both found happiness in that third marriage, so it worked out. But listen, let's shift focus to the fantasy draft. Because listen, this isn't therapy, okay? This is the PBE. Okay, the PBE is kind of therapy.
Podcast.
To be
Look, we
fair,
are. Therapy coming soon.
right? Yeah, the next like every other podcast, will start doing therapy sessions, led by Sarah. I think Chovy is probably our head therapist at this point.
I have to disagree with that one.
No, I mean, I feel like Sarah has really good advice, like pick yourself up by your own bootstraps kind of thing, you know?
Maybe.
Yeah, just be happy.
Just be happy.
That's really good advice. Just be happy. So that's why that's the title that I am bequeathing upon Sarah is
Just produce serotonin. Come on, it's not
produce
that easy.
serotonin. That's another. Yep. See. Okay. So Sonic is the assistant therapist, team therapist for sure.
Here we go with the fake titles again.
Yeah. that A, I may not remember,
Assistant
and B,
to
no
the
one else
regional
will
therapist.
reinforce. Why not? And we've got a Bauer showing up.
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
What's up, bruv?
I am way beyond what I should be, but I won't explain what that means, but the audience should know. And the people here should know. And Sonic should know.
True.
Hey, me too, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would just, as always, I need to formally announce that the Crush Fan podcast suggests that you drink responsibly.
Oh, absolutely. Don't be like me.
All right.
Don't be a me.
Exactly. Yeah, don't be like Bauer.
Yeah.
Do the opposite.
Yeah.
All right.
Stay
So
sober.
let's jump into this epic fantasy draft where everyone definitely worked hard, did a lot of analysis,
Yes.
broke down their players, really found out and figured out what the strongest pick for victory would be.
I literally figured I was gonna be here 20 minutes ago, so
Bruce Star was worth it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, you picked Bruce Star?
Yeah, he picked me, so I picked him right back because I thought it was too funny.
Oh no!
You haven't seen our draft. I totally.
Yeah,
did
let
it.
me
Like 100%.
Yeah.
let me just post. Here's a quick grab because sharing my screen, my OBS will probably stop recording something else if I do it. So let me just show you what the tier maker's looking like.
Yeah, I wanted to pick meme pick. Yeah,
Yeah, that bottom category is strictly for Dom. That's
I cannot tell you guys how much. So I had one pick left, and it was a pitcher. After accidentally picking a batter, by the way, but that's a different story. And I wanted so badly to pick Benson over Moosey's pitcher, but I thought I would get banned instantly. So my last pick for the Dominic friend team was Moosey.
Beautiful.
that's how you become Miners Ambassador, folks. That's how you do
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And
that's how you do it.
get Miners Ambassador by trash talking people and getting the commissioner with these nuts joke.
Lucy is not a meme. He's just a friend.
Moosey's great.
He's just a friend.
He's just a friend.
You said that like
mean-
you're hiding like an affair behind
Yeah,
you.
that's what I was thinking. Like, so do you and Moosey have an announcement to make?
All right. Well, don't worry about what we're doing. Like,
Let's just say
Just
there's
worry
a
about yourself.
reason how the power of GM Hood transitioned from
This-
one person to another.
Yeah.
There's a reason Moosey's in Cancun. That's
I was gonna say, does Dag know? Have you told Dag about this?
Dag knows a lot of
plot.
things. I also have a whole thing with him, but
Like, is this
we're not going to
leaks?
talk about that
Is
on the
this-
podcast.
What the fuck is going on over
Are
here?
we
No,
are we
it's fine.
exposing Bauer right now? Has Bauer been exposed?
You know what? I have a lot of sexual favors going on in the PvE that people don't need to know about. There's a lot of things going on. that
Yeah, it's-
nobody needs to know about.
So it's
Okay.
either the professional Bauer experience or the professional booty experience is what
Yeah.
you're telling us.
It's there. Yep.
Okay. Fair enough. So the draft.
I love this pod so much, dude. It
it's
is hard
pretty
for me
awesome.
to express how stupidly
This is
funny.
the easiest money in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not even getting
Congratulations.
paid. I'm just talking shit.
True.
You have figured out what it means.
Yeah.
We're just here for money.
This is literally the cheat code.
I'm not even here
Yes.
for money. I'm just here to talk shit.
It's
AB, upright,
We're here for
upright.
friendship.
Is that the?
Oh boy, that was like a quarter of the
That was
Konami
an
code.
absolutely butchered version of the one famous cheat code.
The
Konami code or
It's
whatever.
Fine. It's fine. Yeah, it's up, down, down, left, right, and then if it's BA start or BA select start for 2-player games.
This sounds dangerously like fact checking.
No, this isn't. This is
The
just.
only reason I know that is
I
because
think
they
we
use
might have
that
to
in,
cue the
like-
pod.
they use that in NASCAR Dirt to Daytona. There was like a nod to the old cheat code where it was like up, down, left, right, and then it was like right bumper, start, or something like that. That's the only reason I know that.
Yeah, this is less fact checking and me just. I literally used this as a child on the Nintendo, on the Nintendo Entertainment
So
System.
you're a boomer.
Yeah.
This
I mean,
is-
technically,
yeah.
I'm actually a millennial. Borderline
Really?
millennial,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't really think boomers played much. What'd you say? What console?
On the Nintendo Entertainment System, on the NES.
Oh wow,
this
the
was
NES.
this was the
yeah.
code
I
that
don't
I
think
used on
boomers played
Contra.
much.
Like beating Contra without the Konami code was almost impossible.
I don't know. My
just
my
pretty
dad
shit.
played hella and fucking Sega Genesis, and I call him a boomer. So
Nice. All right, kids.
I mean, I still play Sega Genesis to this day. All right, so a little rant here. The fact that my dad's fucking
boy.
Sega Genesis still works like a charm,
Yeah, dude.
and my fucking Xbox 360 chugs like it's on its last breath. Like, come on.
Yeah, I still have my NES. I have 2 NESs that still work, and then a Genesis, and I think I still have the 64. I either have that or I gave it to my sister. I don't remember.
It's amazing that those old consoles were like really built to last,
It's
and
true.
then the new stuff is just built to break.
I don't know, man. Who's the boomer now?
Excuse
Wow.
you.
The old stuff is just so much better. Anywho.
You sound like Alex Johnson.
Nailed it. And that brings us to the fantasy draft. Let's break
that's
down.
what it brings it to.
It does. It does. I figure we're 20 minutes in. We should probably start talking about
This-
fantasy.
yeah,
It's
this
only
is-
20 minutes. Oh boy,
Third-
I'm here for 40 minutes of this thing. Oh god. All right.
Third time's the charm to actually get on topic.
That's it. So Gustav Beauregard was the number 1 pick. This was a
Smart.
pick by Master Sheep. Let's get analysis from. Let's start with Dom, the Miners ambassador, and what do you think about Gustav Beauregard as a first pick?
Oh, I know nothing about him because he's in majors. I don't know. I think the thing about PvE as a whole that's funny is there's definitely a correlation between TPE and success, but it can get a bit loose at times. So picking the second best batter of last year, is Shu still playing? Did he retire?
No, he's still playing.
I was gonna say, I
Okay.
hope he's still playing. I picked him.
Picking the second best batter of last year behind Shu makes sense from a standpoint of it's a high pick for a player that you're pretty sure will get results. But I think the problem with any high round pick in a draft on a sim league is that there's just so much randomness that goes into it anyway, that even though that's a quote unquote safe pick, even then it's still kind of dangerous in that he could just totally have shit sim luck and get him nothing,
I can say that the last 2 seasons, Gustav Beauregard had the highest average the highest on base percentage.
Sure.
And then last season had the most stolen bases.
Oh, he fucking crushed it last season.
But for the last 2 seasons, been pretty darn good. I
Sure,
would say
yeah.
my criticism would be not the highest in home runs, although 23 home runs last year too, with 66 power, by the way. Like, that's impressive.
That's some bullshit.
Right. Like, I had 70 coming into the season, and I think I barely hit 19.
Sure.
But yeah, I don't know. So my thought is this is a pretty solid first, second pick. Like, would be my thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, I wasn't trying to. It's such a good pick that I just kind of felt the need to even like remotely try to attack it, because
Fair.
Yeah, you
like
have to nerf it.
it would
You
be.
have to nerf it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you have to nerf. You have to nerf it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'd be boring if I was just like, great pick, and then moved on.
GG's.
So-
GG's next one. Okay, that's fair. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Any
It
other...
would be
Go ahead.
It would be boring to say that, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. 100 contact, 66 power, 76 eye, 76 avoid strikeouts. I mean, it's very solid. The sim would definitely like it. I looked at the past 10 games, and it's more than 1 hit average per every single game, which is insane. And
Yeah.
also, it makes sense that it was up there for utility, even though that's the only option for hitters, because both has pretty good stats for infield and outfield, and I have no idea why you would want to do this, but for some reason upgraded a tiny bit of catching, which
Okay.
is pretty stupid, but
They're
Yeah.
starting him at catcher for
Spring training?
spring training. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Gustav
it's weird.
has 50 plus rating in every position except for catcher coming into this season.
That's
So they were like, we
why
got to
when
complete
I
the
was-
circle.
specifically why when I was testing for my opening day lineup, I didn't do it against Nola because just for the fact that they had Gustav Robergard as catcher. Like, I knew there was something going on there.
Yeah, clearly not their opening day lineup, so you'd have to make some
No.
tweaks. It's like I'm at second base, and I have like
Yeah.
a 50 rating at second base, so that's yeah.
and I'm actually pitching, so you know it's not the real lineup.
So yeah,
I'm
I think
actually starting, so you have no idea what's going on.
right. Yeah, I think Gustav's a pretty much no-brainer first, second pick. I think that's pretty solid. The second pick, so I'm assigning point values, by the way. So anything first, second, I'm giving 5 points, and then all the way down to 1 point on those meme picks. So you still get consolation points, even if you pick nonsense. But we're giving that a 5. Sarah chose Nicky Dimes. What do you guys think about Nicky Dimes?
Mickey Dimes.
Never even fucking heard of that person.
No, I need to go look at the TPA tractor.
Yeah, so Nicky Dimes is sitting on 1794 TPE, actually.
I mean,
that's
pretty
one
high
of
up
those
there.
sleeper shits, Because look, all right, we all here, we're all sitting around a campfire discussing, discussing literature.
Disgusting.
Yeah, disgusting. We got our fucking PBE fucking books around, reading on history and therapy, and not once did I ever cross the name of this motherfucker. So
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
my drunk ass has got to agree with the other drunk ass. So
yeah. My question is, who? And now someone else can
Yeah,
answer that.
so Nicky Dimes, Nicholson Dimes, plays for the Detroit Demons in left field.
it doesn't matter though.
Oh, I get it. Nichols and wow, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But doesn't actually have a lot of pop. It's another speedy boy, it looks like. 100 contact, only 66 home run power, 76 avoid Ks, but he's got some speed. So he's 73 speed, and
This
72
okay.
stealing.
This is literally the exact same stats as Gustav.
Similar, but okay, so one thing about the out of the park engine, you'll notice that players who have stealing lower than speed are very bad at stealing. They will get caught stealing at a very high rate because they make poor decisions. So they're fast, but they don't get great jumps. So the 72 stealing versus 73 speed, he stole 28 bases last season, but got caught stealing 15 times. So a less than 2/3 success rate. So we're sitting around 64% on that success rate. Not ideal for stolen bases. The average is good. 314 average. Got some pop. 12 home runs. I don't know. I'm torn on this one. I want your guys' opinion.
Didn't you just ask for that?
On where they rank. So
Oh.
So we're ranking them. So my leaning is I don't know if this is actually a first round pick. I think this might be a third or fourth round pick.
What regression are they in? Like,
oh, that's a good point too. I think there's Let's see. They're season 19, so they are not regressing. Yeah, it is pre-regression, so it is strong for sure.
So peak player right here. I mean,
I think it's a stretch just by the fact of our group is dumb and doesn't look that hard into players. And I think you could have gotten them second round and had no troubles at all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking. I mean, again, my opinion is there were a lot of strong picks, and I don't think this is a guy who's going to steal a lot of bags for you, and he just doesn't have pop. The most home runs he's ever hit is 17. I'm not seeing it, so I'm thinking this should be a third or fourth pick as opposed to a first or second pick.
Also, the fact that he's a prime player would mean that his TPE placement and spending would be a lot more focused on what he's doing now than in the long game. So maybe it is more smart.
Yeah, maybe he picks up that stealing. Like I said, if he invests so that the stealing is greater than the speed, he'll be really successful. But until that point, he ain't gonna get no bags. 28 bags ain't gonna get you much.
And if you need to know how capability mixed with bad decision making looks on a person, just look at Bauer.
Wow.
Excuse you.
Oh, whoa.
Shots for no reason.
Excuse you.
Oh my gosh.
I'm literally just sitting here.
It's like a national holiday. It's like a tradition to bully Bauer for no reason.
Excuse you, I was the fucking Kingpin's MVP behind Chovy, so
Go fuck yourself.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a response. Like,
I hope you get fucking nothing in your rookie year.
All right. Listen, kids. If I have to separate you two, I'll do it.
No, I'm literally his GM. I'm his boss.
Oh, fair. Tom, you might want to calm down.
He's going to fucking 9. Like, I still got time to change the opening day lineup.
Also, Sarah is gonna misaudit your file right now, so just a heads up.
Yeah.
You're getting it from both sides.
I guarantee I am at least like 10 TPE off, and I am so ready for Sunday when because I just made this massive one bank of like 311 TPE, and I am so ready for my updater to look at my update and just send me a message on Discord and be like, "This is shit. How the fuck did you add this up?"
Fair.
All
right. Well, I'm making the call. I'm gonna say it's third, fourth, just because again, I think there were just stronger picks. So I think this is a player who could definitely prove me wrong, depending on how updates go. But yeah, for now, I think that's the ruling. And then we got to go to, I think it's a fan favorite, Parker Beecham, aka Parkour Beachman. Is that what are we going with now?
Beauchamp.
Beach balls. Beach
damn.
balls. But it is Parker Beecham.
Shit,
For those of you who are wondering, it is Beecham. Just a reference.
I have like no input on anything except for the 3 players that I did scout.
Wow.
So Parker is S19, 1,539 TPE. So pretty up there.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Jess, she's an absolute gem. She's on a fairly decent Boise team, so like, no matter what she does, it's
Last
going to
time
be
I
brought up.
checked, Boise was, like, third.
Excuse you, I'm talking.
Got him.
I'm sorry. I
All
wanted
right,
to
so down to
contribute to what you
9.
were
So yeah, down to 9 in the batting order. Um, she should bring in good results. I mean, regardless of the fact that she's top of her TPE, I think she should.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. If we were ranking users of players, absolutely first, second, 100%.
Jess is fucking first overall.
But
it's not even, yeah.
But we're not ranking the user. We're ranking the players.
Wait.
And
Okay.
And Parker has 86 contact, 51 home run power, and 81 avoid Ks, 41 speed stealing. I don't know about this.
Okay,
I mean,
so
yeah, that doesn't sound
I'm usually
as
a
OP as
person
the other
that
players.
just like looks at home runs because yeah, that's just how I am. But as far as like a baseball player at their rawest form, I mean, that's what you look for. She's pure contact hitter, gets on base, does nothing more than that. I mean, what more can you ask for?
well, from a fantasy standpoint, that's not how points work. so we have to rank it from a fantasy standpoint as well.
Okay, well, fantasy is sometimes a little skewed.
I mean, it's not reality, let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, as far as straight up PBE goes, I'd pick her definitely first round. But yeah, as far as fantasy goes, probably a little farther down.
All right, just
go ahead. Yeah.
Just to like shit on this person more than people already have. No personal thing. Just like 400 less TPE than the other people. I mean, from a fantasy standpoint, that's a lot right there.
Okay, Dom. Give us the why.
No. I'm not gonna.
No.
No.
I will, for once in my life, just not speak.
So, I don't think this is a meme pick. This is a pick that will give you points.
I did not pick Jess as a meme.
However,
the meme pick started about 4 picks in.
However, I don't know.
Your meme pick started.
I know we were just knocking Sarah for it. I am the same class in that I don't like regression picks.
Fair.
But
I mean, so here's the question. So looking at season stats, like the biggest season that Parker's had so far was last season, with a 257, 340, 373 slash line, 7 home runs, no stolen bases. I just don't see points in this player is the problem. Again, I wouldn't classify this as a meme pick because I still think there are some points. But honestly, I'm leaning towards 7th, 8th. But I'm willing to be negotiated up to 5th, 6th.
Yeah, I think it's definitely 5th, 6th.
This is like the worst game show ever.
I'm just saying.
It's not a game show.
I'm not. Again, if we're talking about the user, this is a first round pick all day, every day. But this is about fantasy baseball, and I just don't see points. I don't see points.
You take a deeper look into any player for fantasy like that I've ever seen. Like I literally look at like the name and I'm like, okay, well, where were they at last year or whatever. So I'm just like sitting here in shock that you're like, oh yeah, not good for fantasy pick right here. Here's who I would pick. Like, damn, crazy.
Let me try to get that 7th, 8th up to 5th, 6th. Okay.
Okay.
Number 1. Yeah, they won't rack up a lot of fantasy points, but consistency and getting on base. I mean, it's just points coming in every game, like a slow trickle, as to maybe a big thread of home runs and doubles. And 7th, 8th is way down there, and I feel like anyone with that amount of TPE shouldn't be the second lowest or close to meme. A meme is like me. You picked me for fantasy.
I mean, so the problem is Parker has all points in defense basically. So there is a lot of potential for improvement on the offensive side, is what that also translates to. Like if your home run power is at 51, you can max. I think what's the max, 60 for that archetype? I'm not sure which archetype, but that's the research I didn't do, was figure out what archetypes these folks were. So I'm just judging them on what I see as the ratings now. But say they can add another 10 to their power over the course of the season. That's a big deal, right? So I mean the potential's there. I can be negotiated up to 5th, 6th. I'll take that.
Also, are there any fantasy points for defense at all? I did not check.
There are not. No, it's strictly offense, and mostly the power stuff.
And for pitchers, is it just the basic stats? ERA,
strikes,
save percentage,
WHIP, wins, saves, I think, and then ERA. Is it ERA as well? It's because I think it's 5 for each, both hitting and pitching.
Okay.
Let me click on my link and find out. Great question.
I feel like awards should also be points. Like if you get an award, you should get fantasy points.
I think we need less things that Shu controls. So let's not give him.
Yeah. So on the hitting side,
that makes more sense.
Shu's a bitch.
Listen, happy birthday, Shu. Happy birthday, Shu.
No, happy birthday, Shu, you're a bitch.
Whoa.
So on the hitting side, it's on base percentage, slugging, RBIs, runs, and stolen bases. On the pitching side, it's wins, strikeouts, ERA, WHIP, and then saves and holds are one category.
Okay.
So it's the strategy.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So no strikeouts?
Yeah, strikeouts. So wins, strikeouts, ERA, WHIP, and then saves and holds are one category. So the general strategy for drafting is you want to probably pick 1 or 2 people who can steal bases on the hitting side, and then on the pitching side, you probably take the meta right now, or at least a few drafts that I've been in, is picking 2 starters and 2 relievers. That's kind of it kind of depends on what your draft does, but yeah. So that's kind of what you shoot for. But yeah, so I'll give, again, great user. Jess is like one of our favorites, so I'll give you a 5th, 6th on this. We'll get Dom some points here. We'll give him 3 points.
It's been an honor. Thank you.
That's it.
That's the highest grade I'm gonna get all day. Just for the people.
Well, listen, we're clearly only going to get through the first 2 rounds of picks at this pace, so it's gonna be tough to make up ground. We'll see what happens here. All right, and then the next pick I have, I think I'm out of order. Oh no, okay. So I did it this way because I'm just not used to people picking pitchers in the first round, I think. So Yosh picked Fr Finreese, aka Tristan Lung.
What position?
Pitcher. Or excuse me, not Fr Finreese. Tristan Lung. Tristan Lung is a pitcher.
And what are the stats?
Tristan has 1,214 TPE. But Tristan is a reliever. So relievers can be pretty awesome even with low TPE.
Yeah, that's
he's S15, so he's in 2nd season of regression, I believe. But 100 stuff, 69 movement, 66 control, 100 plus velo, neutral on the ground ball, fly ball. Last season posted 197 strikeouts, a .98 WHIP, and a 170 ERA plus. So pretty solid stats.
That build sounds even good for a starting pitcher.
Yeah, it doesn't translate, the reliever and starter stuff doesn't quite translate 1-to-1, but it's Tristan's been very solid for a very long time. The last 3 seasons were all sub 1 WHIPs, His entire career,
Wow.
his highest whip was 1.02. So he's been a workhorse for sure. Even with that low TPE, even regressing, I would still argue this is a first, second round pick.
Yeah, definitely. It's just almost guaranteed points. Guaranteed a lot of points every time he's on the mound.
Any objections or other thoughts?
No, yeah, for sure. Because there's a lot of fantasy like theory crafting where it's like forget about the fucking starting pitching. Just grab like the best relievers you can, and because they can get wins,
True. Yeah, I mean that is a strategy for
starting
sure.
pitchers can't get saves/holds. So
It's very
and
true.
if you're gonna grab a reliever, you might as well get the one who fucking won like pitcher of the year. So yeah, pretty good pick right there.
Right on. And then we will come up to the final pick of round 1, and then we'll go. Wait a second. Yeah, that was my side. Okay, final pick of round 1, which is my pick, Klaus Bergen-Cannon.
I don't think I'm gonna need TPE and stuff for every single person that's not.
Klaus is 1,619 TPE, an S18 DH. So he can hit a long ball. Let me pull up his exact stats. So Klaus has 97 contact, 100 home run power, 91 I, 71 avoid Ks, no speed to speak of. For some reason, they had him steal 2 bases last season. I don't know why.
What a guy.
Yeah, but consistently hits double-digit home runs. Last year was actually a down year for him. He only hit 16. 286, 389, 521 slash line. So that slugging is what I was really focused on when I picked this. Is that 521. But yeah, I picked him because again, I'm focused when I pick hitters. Again, this might be anti-meta a little bit because I'm not super focused on average. I'm looking at on base and slugging strictly because I'm going for those points. So that's where I focused on. I the last 2 drafts I've done, I've tried to go stealing, and it's only burnt me. So this draft, I just didn't care about stealing. I threw away those points and said I'm going to try to get them everywhere else.
I'm glad that you've moved away from a life of crime, Jacob.
But yeah, I picked him first because in my eyes, obviously, I saw that as a first-round pick. But I'm willing to hear arguments if you guys think he should have dropped lower.
Well, even if it did drop to a second, that's still in the first and second category. But it's a very solid pick for a guy that has so much power. It's on base so much, it's insane.
Right on. Since there are no formal objections, we'll go with it. Which moves on to my first second-round pick and my first pitcher, Lucky El Charo.
I assume he's lucky.
Yes and no. Yes and no. We're sitting at Lucky El Charo has 1,765 TPE, so pretty far up there. S19, so pre-regression. And
Starting pitcher?
Yeah, starting pitcher, 93 stuff, 79 movement, 86 control, 90 to 92 velo, extreme ground ball pitcher. Career highlights. Last season was actually a little bit of a down season for him with a 122 whip, which is his second highest in his career. Strikeouts, 162 strikeouts, so he's not a big strike thrower, but he's still pretty good as far as starters go. And an ERA plus of 110. So actually a relatively down year for Lucky El Charo. Again, this one I could probably hear arguments on third, fourth. I picked him second because I thought he was worth a first, second pick. But yeah, I'm definitely willing to hear arguments on this one for third, fourth because it's his.
I feel like it would go. I'm leaning towards third, fourth, just because I feel like first and second, it's the big extremes for big points, like home run hitters, base stealers. But, as a baseball player, he's, or I assume it's a he, insane. But I feel like just the averageness and all of everything, like stuff, movement, so on and so forth, it's pretty average, which will trickle in a lot of points, but I don't know if it's second round points.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't top 7 in strikeouts. He wasn't top 7 in WHIP, as far like amongst starters. I just thought so. This one's a little bit of a reach. So I'm going to say third, fourth. I think third, fourth makes sense. It's a little bit of a reach because I think he's had some tough sim luck. That's kind of what I was thinking. So yeah, I'll give you that.
Let me tell you what. Okay.
Okay.
And this isn't just because I'm in the Stars locker room. Yes, it is. I'm a Star, so of course I'm going to defend my boy. No, Lucky is in a fucking the mood. He's going to have a fucking sensational season this time around. I'm calling it right here, right now. You can quote me on this later. Everyone's vibing him up. I think he's ready for a fucking blowout. He's going to kill him. And you're going to feel good about picking him. Should have won first overall,
I like, what? I appreciate that analysis. I like it. I still think he's going to kill him. That's the quote, for sure. That's like when, in the show, when Mark DeRosa, he often says, they say solo home runs won't kill you, but I think this guy's in there trying to do exactly that. And I always instantly think, oh, you mean kill people? What? So that I appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, I think I agree with the argument that he's a little bit of a reach for a second pick. So I'll say third pick. I think I agree with you. I think he's going to have a strong season.
Have I been in here for 45 minutes now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I don't think I'm going to be here for another 15 minutes, so I'm just going to hop off now.
Well, I mean, you can stick it out. Listen, if you can stay for another few minutes, I'll just pay you for the whole time. So, I mean, stay as long as you can.
That would be... Okay.
And if you got a dip, just say, I got a dip later, guys. We're good. Okay. So, yeah, I'll take 4 points on that one. And then we move back up, and now we got, I think, am I out of order now? No, we picked another. Yosh threw everything off because he just kept picking pitchers, and it's so weird for me to see only pitchers in the first rounds.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very smart.
So Alex Johnson, again, fantastic users. We got the Coach Johnsons being represented. So Alex Johnson is 1,700 and... Oh, excuse me. Alex Johnson's AJ, not one of the Coach Johnsons. My bad. 1,760 TPE.
Relief pitcher or starting pitcher?
He is a starter. His current nickname is Dangly, 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 Dangly.
Amazing.
What a Chad.
And 93 stuff, 69 movement, which is very nice. 96 control, 95 to 97 velo, neutral on the ground ball, fly ball. Career highlights. Last season was tough whip wise, was 1.23, an ERA plus of 98, and 134 strikeouts, which was actually the 134 was actually a career high for him.
I'm gonna go. Wait, what season?
He is S18, so he's pre-regression.
Okay, I'm going to say he is first and second pick. Just that TPE placement sounds good, especially that the control. I feel like that'll get a lot of strikeouts for him. You're not supposed to go the velo's high.
What a Chad.
Maybe I don't understand the sim, but
I mean, because here's the deal. Lucky El Charo is right, like pretty similar stats wise. Definitely less control, but 10 points more of movement. So he's going to give up less home runs. He's not going to give up the long ball as much. So I would say, I see Lucky El Charo as a borderline third, fourth. I think I see Alex Johnson as a solid third, fourth. That's how I see him.
Do pitchers get points taken off for the opponent's stuff they do to them?
You mean like so? Okay, so the
you give
stats,
up a home run If a pitcher gives up a home run, do you lose points?
Well, your ERA will go up. So if your ERA goes up, that's bad. If you don't win the game, that's bad. Like if you get a no decision, that's a loss of points because you didn't get the win. And then again, he did 30 less strikeouts last season versus El Charo. So I don't know. My thing is,
what team is he on?
He is currently on the Vandals, I believe.
HO punished them.
Yeah, the index, it's interesting. The compendium says he's San Antonio, but he's in the Vandals section. And then I'm looking at the sim file, and the sim file has him on the Vandals too.
Punish him, Vandals.
So
Are the Vandals a good team? I have no idea.
Yes, they're a very good team. Wow.
Because I feel like if you have a good team, that's just a lot of wins.
I just don't see the argument where Alex Johnson's better than Lucky El Charo.
And now that you stated your point, I agree with that.
Yeah, like I'll give him third, fourth. I think he's a solid third, fourth pick, but I just don't see. Like I said, I think Lucky El Charo is going to be like people are going to wish they picked him first, second, and Alex Johnson, I think like third, fourth, solid. Like no matter what, probably third, fourth, solid.
I couldn't agree with that.
Based.
All right, we're going with it. Listen, I run this town. We're going with it. All right, and that brings us to.
Should be retired.
That brings us to Dom picking Zach Mouse. While I pull up his stats, Dom, talk to us about this pick.
Okay. So, hold up, real quick, because I'm totally blanking on it. Where does Zach Mouse play?
He was a Vandal, and now I believe he's Indy. Yeah, both the Compendium and the Sim file agree he's Indianapolis Apex.
So he's part of the boring Apex super team. Okay. So I was scrolling through the PBE Compendium as well as my past picks, and he is the only batter that has ever earned me points. And I saw that he still has a lot of TPE, and I don't remember if he's light in regression or not in it at all.
Yeah, he's 1749 and he's S19, so he's pre-regression.
Nice. Yeah. So I went with the only pick that has not colossally let me down ever. So.
Yeah, he's been getting stronger too. He had a career high 27 home runs last season, 355 on base, 560 slugging, and he even stole some bags. He went 24 stolen bases. So I'm going to be honest with you. I think this is a first, second round pick. I think Zach Mouse is a great pick.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I feel
Speedy boy, getting those fucking bags and shit.
Got approval.
I'm gonna
cry. This is amazing.
Yeah, I feel it's actually, if you're doing it individual rounds, that would be a first round pick for sure. That was a steal.
I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, like your draft didn't start out terribly.
You could have actually won.
Did it end well? Probably not. Actually, it ended about as well as it started, let's be honest. Like, your starting and your ending were really strong in this draft. It's the middle part that we got some concerns.
I wouldn't call them concerns, because I knew what I was doing.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
It's just that my goals are very different from your goals.
True. I mean, I'm trying to be competitive, you know. I'm just like I don't have it in me to throw the draft, even for the memes. I don't have it.
I mean, there are things that I hardcore care about, and this is not.
That's part of why it's fun to do a draft with teammates, right? You know, it's
Dom. Yeah. Next season, if you ever want to throw some more, I'm up for the fantasy team, Dom.
I'm going to be honest with you. Even if I was in your group and I wasn't throwing, you wouldn't have to worry about me.
I mean,
you say that like I'm some like menace that decided to take a year off.
Well, what if I'm
never been serious?
If I'm Max Aaron?
All right, so let's get to the next pick of the second round. We got Billy Greer. And Sarah, did you want to tell us the methodology behind this pick while I pull up the stats? Go Sloths. Okay, that's a good.
There.
Oh man, did everyone do meme stuff except for me? Because I feel like an idiot, and I just I'm just a
you
huge
were
jerk
the
if that's
lone
the
guy
case.
trying.
Oh man,
Oh no!
I'm just
And
the
you know what's
worst.
worse? Sarah's still gonna beat us.
Oh, almost guaranteed. Yeah. No, Sarah. Listen, Billy Greer is 1802 TPE, probably top of the class. In S19, so Billy Greer is actually looking like a pretty solid pick. Let me pull up those starting pitcher stats real quick.
This is an amazing podcast.
We got 96 stuff, 69 movement, also nice, 89 control, 91 to 93 velo, neutral on the ground ball, fly ball. Career highlights last season: a 1.13 WHIP, 149 strikeouts, an ERA plus of 116. The season before actually threw a 1.05 WHIP with a 135 ERA plus. Still lower on the strikeout end of things, but yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is a second round pick. This is a pretty solid pick who's only getting stronger this season.
Yeah, I would agree, especially if he's getting stronger. If he's getting stronger, that's very solid. I mean, sounds amazing already. Pre-regression, I assume.
Yeah, S19 is pre-regression, I believe. So, yeah.
Regression start with 17 this season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 10 seasons is the regression marker.
I feel like every single person has been season 19 so far.
Yeah, well, I think we all had that same strategy of like, I want to pick high TPE people who aren't regressing, generally speaking.
I think that's the goal of everyone in fantasy ever.
Yeah, like I just don't want to see my player get worse because it's just sad. I don't want to deal with that life.
It's sad.
All right, let's go with the final pick. So I'm giving that second round. I think that was a solid pick. Let's go with the final pick of the second round from Master Sheep was Vidal Valor.
Yep.
One of the three players that I actually scouted.
Nice. Give us your breakdown.
Okay. So 97 contact, 100 power, 81 eye, and 71 avoid strikeout. That's a very solid power hitter. 97 contact, 100 power. That's literally your dream, the show player. And 81 eye. Also, you're not going to be. I just forgot that guy's name. He was an old guy who just either home run or struck out, but
like Barry
he's
Bonds
very
type. Yeah.
Dave Kingman.
Oh, nice.
Okay. But yeah, very solid pick. I would definitely say first or second round.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad that this one got past the rest of us because this is easily a first round pick that went in the second round. Yeah, I would agree. I have no other commentary other than go Valor, and I hope the Valor universe continues to thrive.
The Valor universe.
Yeah. Valor let us know about there's Vidal family and then everyone else is basically how the universe works. I think that was the discussion we had a while ago.
It's okay. I mean, whatever works.
No, I love it. We like the lore. We like player lore. It's all about that.
Oh man, who would write for their player?
And someone with way too much free time, obviously.
Of course. I mean, you're not wrong.
All right, let's hit up that. We're gonna try to get through one more round. I know we're going long on the pod, probably, but yeah, let's try to go through one more round so that we can make these scores.
Aiden McDougall in the next round.
The next pick. So the first pick of the third round is, I have Matthew Paul. Yeah, Matthew Paul for Master Sheep. I think Aiden McDougall was fifth round. So we got a ways to go for Aiden McDougall, yeah. But Matthew Paul in the third round for Master Sheep. Let me pull up the stats. Matthew Paul is S17, 1,662 TPE, but a reliever. That's insane TPE for a reliever.
I'm gonna say that's a second round pick.
I mean, I haven't looked at the stats, but I'm inclined to agree.
Because if you have that much TPE, season 17 as a reliever, you've got to assume that the TPEs keep going to go up and up at that rate, and that's an insane pick.
S17. So I don't know. I think they're technically in regression now.
Yes, they are.
I mean, that's just a small
Well,
hit, though, at that point.
Yeah, that's still really light.
Yeah, I mean, even regressing, this is a player who, like, anything above like 1500 TP for a reliever is pretty nuts.
Yeah, that's, again, as I was saying, people will strategize like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take all the relievers or whatever. Definitely a first round grab here if you're gonna go for reliever strats. I mean, just that much TP. Even if you have a terrible build, at some point it just got to be like putting it into the right stats.
Yeah, and I think part of that push too was, like I said, Yosh picking a reliever right out of the gate, which is kind of anti the meta that I've seen lately. So I don't know if that is part of what influenced Sheep to go with that, but I have no argument against Matthew Paul as a first, second round. So basically, so far, Master Sheep is 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Meta.
Dang it.
Meta.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I really thought you had this one in the bag, but we'll see. All right, let's go to the second pick of the third round. Was Sarah's Paulo Di Stefano Jr.
I think he's the only person in this draft that I've ever heard of so far.
Yeah, 1800 TPE, S19 or S18, excuse me. So not regressing yet. Regressing? Not regressing. I'm Sean Connery.
You're almost there, buddy.
Here. Listen, I've been talking all day. I talk for a living, and then I had to talk some more. Oh. Okay, Junior. I was like, retired? What? Anyway, pulling up the stats. 89 contact, 91 home run power, 71 avoid Ks. Can steal some bags, too. 71 stealing, 61 speed. Last season, 3 straight seasons of 20-plus home runs, sitting on a 352 on-base percentage with a 530 slugging last season. Yeah, Apollo's a first-round pick, and we let her have it.
Yeah.
53 stolen bases. Come on, like.
Oh wow.
Apollo does it all.
That's number 1 overall right there.
Yeah, that should have been number 1 overall. And, to be fair, Sarah had picks before that. I think she knew we were gonna let her have it, because I think that happened last draft too.
I'm just going to say, I wasn't even a part of the draft, but I know when Sarah picked Paul, everyone was just said "oh" in their mind.
Yeah, it was like, oh yeah, like we kind of forgot. It's okay. How do you forget one of the best fantasy players? I don't know. You just do. It happens. All right, and then we move on to Dom with Andrew Lucas. Dom, did you want to tell us about Andrew Lucas?
Okay, first I have to say, I'm reading this article from Blowpop, who absolutely fucking trashes me because I hadn't updated yet. So he calls me he refers to me as like a subpar update or earner.
Nice.
And while like he's like the infield of Cancun will be great even if McCoy continues to be an average updater at best. It's like, holy shit, dude! I'm your teammate.
Got him.
Yeah, I just got fucking roasted. Okay, I need to orient myself around the thing that we're actually discussing.
Yeah, so Andrew Lucas.
Andrew Lucas.
Yeah.
I hate fact checking, but I want to check before I say this. I am relatively sure Lucas got an award last year. I'm not gonna look for it right now. Right now, so I the two things that I base my drafts on before I just give up, is obviously TPE. Then I look at who else is getting picked. And there were a lot of groups where Lucas actually, I looking at everything, I'm kind of surprised this happened. There were a lot of groups where Lucas went much higher than I thought he would.
Lucas paid them.
And I thought, okay, he has like a decent build. He's high TPE, and he's available later than he was in a lot of rounds, so I figure I'll take him.
Yeah, I think so. He's 1688 TPE, so he's a little bit lower than some of the other pitchers we've seen overall TPE, but his stats have been really solid. And he plays for the Raptors, who are a really good team.
The Raptors have absurdly good sim luck with their pitchers and terrible sim luck with their batters.
Right. But his career highlights, he threw 3.75 ERA, 1.19 WHIP, and 142 strikeouts. So I would say, I mean, honestly, with that breakdown, I kind of see him in the third, fourth category. I could hear an argument for first, second, and it sounds like a lot of people are picking him first, second. But just by the numbers, my thought is third, fourth.
Okay.
I think it's first and second, just because number one, the build itself is third and fourth, and yes, the Raptors have had some luck. Number one, just remember that he's going to kill him quote that Sonic said earlier. Maybe this is the year that the batters kill it. Anyways, with the hitting core that good, you're going to get a lot of wins. And I feel like that pushes him over the top to a low first and second pick.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to compare him to Lucky El Charo. They're very similar in base build. They went in slightly different directions. Like Andrew Lucas has more velocity and is focused more on. He has more velocity, but he's focused on his out pitch is a changeup. So that's a little weird, but very similar builds, very similar to Lucky El Charo. I would say maybe slightly better. So I could see an argument for first, second. I could probably give you first, second on this because I think he is
just
slightly
give
better
him the
than Lucky El
point
Charo.
knowing his lower draft picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him this. So Dom, your first 3 picks were actually really good, I would say. Like Beach Ball was a little questionable.
I'm getting the affirmative action equivalent.
Yeah, you made 2 really good picks and 1 pick that was a little questionable in the very beginning.
Okay. Thanks, bud.
And Sarah has banned you, so congratulations. Or am I banned? Someone's banned. I'm not sure who.
She was.
I don't know. Oh, Dom's banned for fact checking. Got him. Sorry, I just saw it. All right, so now we move on to FR Finn Reese, who is Big Yosh's first hitter. And if I remember, this is a pretty solid batter. Yeah, so this is... So here's the problem. So 1,465 TP. This is an S15 pick, so we're a little bit into regression. And then if we look at the numbers, we have 93 contact, 71 home run power, 71 I, 71 avoid Ks, stealing and speed at 51. Last season, a 363 on base, 430 slugging, 27 stolen bases. Yeah, it's a player who's getting a little worse. Versus what? Because I should also point out, I didn't point this out at the top. I am not reading off of the spring training file. I am reading off of the end of season file, which is what was available to us when we were doing this draft. So the actual TPE totals may not match what I see in the sim file, and that's where I'm reading off of.
So basically, don't fact check.
Yeah, we're not fact checking with the BNN index. Yeah. I would probably argue a third, fourth round at best for FR Finn Reese. I could see an argument for fifth, sixth, but this is still a decent hitting player. Just, again, getting slightly worse. I don't know. The more I think about it, maybe I am leaning fifth, sixth. It's borderline for me. It's borderline for me between fourth round and fifth round.
I feel like it's also borderline.
Yeah.
Again, in the fact that a lot of the first picks, like pitcher, relief, starting pitcher, relief pitcher, or hitter, it racks in the big points, like home runs. I mean, and let me see, Gustav, contact hitter, but I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, 363 on base is respectable, but I mean, there there are a lot better hitters that are still available in this particular draft and still available out there. I don't know. I lean fifth, but I would hear an argument for
I also
third,
lean
fourth.
fifth. Really, thing that pushes it over to fifth is just the fact that it's regression.
What do you think, Dom? Any objections?
Oh God. I can't speak because I was banned for fact checking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No more money for Dom. Dom
sorry.
gets 0 money because.
What about you, Sonic? Did you have any?
Give
thoughts?
all of mine to sports.
Sonic,
Yeah, I'll definitely need it.
Yeah, Sonic. Any thoughts on FR Fenris?
Well, you know what? I'll speak my mind. Yeah. So, what kind of name is FR Fenris anyway? You know, what your mother hates you or something? But listen. Okay, what season 15, right?
Yeah.
So decent little bit of regression going on there. But you know, you can't really argue with results. No, I'm sure my boy Big Yosh saw something here, a twinkle in his eye that he fucking knew, like, hey, this is my fucking guy right here, you know. So far, it's like he saw something in his eye where he's like, this guy, I'm gonna pick this batter over every other fucking pitcher I've already picked. So yeah, you know what? I'm going to give him some props here. This guy, he's going 1 overall. Fuck it.
All right, I think that confirms 5th, 6th. I think it's the same bet. But it was a very passionate argument, and I liked it.
What a guy.
And Sports Boy, thanks for hanging. Appreciate you.
It was very fun on here.
Yes.
Yeah, I really liked this podcast. I'll definitely be on here when I can. You'll see more of me.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Maybe you can even join us for one of the fun topics.
Ouch.
Yeah, that would be better.
Fair. All right. Well, we'll power through this last round again. We got through 3 rounds. That's pretty good for us.
Yes. No, we're more on topic than I expected.
And if you do get to Aiden McDougall somehow, 5th, 6th round.
Okay.
That's just, if you ever get there without me, mine put is either 5th, 6th round, or
fair
7th, 8th.
All right, so now we come to my 3rd round pick and the final pick of the 3rd round, Andrew Oram. Goldie Golderson, the legend. S16, so he is regressing. 1505 TPE, but he is on the Raptors. And looking at the numbers as the sim file says, we're sitting...
I like how we say the Raptors, like you're guaranteed a good fantasy season.
I'm just saying, good teams help. Last season was a bit of a struggle for him offensively compared to previous seasons. He only had 15 home runs compared to 37 in the previous season, but still put up respectable numbers with a 380 on base and a 458 slugging. Obviously no stolen bases. He is not a speedy boy. But, yeah, I mean, even in regression, this guy's getting on base and this guy's hitting home runs generally. And my belief is that he had such bad sim luck last season. I think he's having a bounce back year.
I think that's called gambler's fallacy.
So, I mean, obviously, I thought he was worth a 3rd round pick. I could hear an argument for 5th, 6th, but I would put him at 3rd, 4th because it's, again, 100 power, 97 contact, 91 eye, 71 avoid Ks. So he's basically maxed out hitting stats.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, this guy, he's the type of guy that gets good results in fantasy. You know, at the end of the season when you see like, oh yeah, all these people top 10 in all the ranks, see his name come up a few times over the past few seasons. So I don't think it's a bad pick to go with someone, you know, who, like I said, gets results, you know, especially for fantasy points, even in regression, you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say 3rd, 4th. I could even honestly hear an argument either way. I could hear a 1st, 2nd argument. I could hear a 5th, 6th argument. So I think 3rd, 4th is a nice round place to put him. Just again, max stats, max hitting stats, even regressing. It's pretty tough to beat. Just needs a little bit of sim luck. So that's why I'm saying 3rd, 4th. I think that's that's the play.
To be fair, every person requires a little bit of Simlic.
True. I would say he requires a little bit more than others. So that's the argument.
Yeah.
But looking at the board, we actually didn't do terribly in the first 3 rounds.
No.
I think the first 3 rounds were pretty good. If you want, just to make it, we can get through the first 4. We could do one more. We're over time, but we can kind of real quick go through this next one if you want, or we can call it here and just tally it up and be good.
If I'm not getting paid for it, I'm not very interested.
Let's do it. All right, so we're tallying up the points. Looking at the numbers, we have myself. I had 13 points. Looking at Big Yosh. Big Yosh had 12 points.
Better than I expected.
Looking at Dom. Dom had 13 points.
Let's go.
Sarah had 14 points. Master Sheep had 15 points. Master Sheep had 3 first, second round picks. So if we had gone farther, who knows? But ladies and gentlemen, your fantasy draft expert for season 27, according to the Crush Fan podcast, is Master Sheep. Congratulations to Trevor Duncan.
Yeah.
For
You know, Master Sheep is good at this shit. Had him in my last group, and I just wanted to be put on paper. You know, I was beating him for most of the time until the very last sim week, and then I lost by like 5 points. So, no, not 5. 0.5, I should say. 0.5 points. So, you know, at the end of the day, the real experts here is me. So, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Put the rest of Dom's picks into meme. All
I
right.
mean, okay.
While I have you all here, I want to take the opportunity to say, Sarah talks a lot of shit in fantasy because it's the only thing that she's ever beaten me at in any significant category. So you keep celebrating those small wins, playoff clutch hits. I mean, yeah. You had the Swifties, but that's about it.
I mean, the greatest hit in Kingpin's history.
That's fair. But I think when the career is all said and done, old 220 in spring training will not be known for clutch hitting. So
hey man, that hit made the fucking trailers, you know.
Yeah, I actually
TV
I
trailer
cried because of that
broadcasted on YouTube.
Greg Digger was not that much of a meme pick.
Yeah, I know. I'll give you Chris Jacob. That was a meme pick right there.
No, but I mean, okay. I guess I could see an argument for Greg Digger being 7th.
A shit post, but I at least tried with Greg and Chris. You know.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I would say I would say Greg Digger and Leo Robert are decent 7th, 8th picks. I will give you those.
Greg had like an incredible last run of the season last year where he won like 5 straight. It was really impressive. I remember that very well because we were casting that game and he was like losing his mind because he like all of his starts were good that sim.
I mean, yeah, okay.
I'll
take him off. I'll take him off the meme
he's
list.
Elite.
Yeah,
I picked him because we're friends, but there were more meme picks and there were less meme picks.
Sure. Yeah, I could. Yeah, honestly, I could see Greg Digger 5th, 6th. So I'll give you that one. I'll give you Leo Robert as a non-meme pick, but me and Brustar Lemonade and me are definitely meme picks.
Brust 100%. Yeah.
Like I'm just over 1,000 TPE. I'm not max home run power. I don't think I'm gonna get you many points.
I hope you fucking rake next year.
That would be sick. Man. I'm not gonna lie, that would be both sick and hilarious to lose to you because I rake. That would be pretty funny.
That would be TLK, the commissioner of Super Casual, always drafts the Patriots quarterback in fantasy because he's a Jets fan.
Nice.
Because either he wins or the Patriots suck and he wins.
I like it.
That was the drafting Chris Jacobs strat.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you ended up, your last pick was Jason Buswell, which was like kind of a steal.
Yeah.
You ended the draft, and I just went like, oh crap! Like, how did that get through? Because
I should have picked Benson over it.
You can't pick a pitcher instead of a hitter, Dom. You can't.
Well, listen,
nobody. I didn't know. Okay.
Nobody in my group picked Buswell, and Dag thanked us.
Yeah, he had bad luck last season, I think.
Yeah. He said, thank you for not picking me.
For sure. And he's S17, so he's hitting that regression too. But last season was tough. He had a 328 on base, 460 slugging. Especially coming off of... I mean, he had 22 home runs. That's not terrible, but yeah, it was not his best performance for sure. But yeah, I would argue Jason's probably a borderline 4th, 5th. I would say, even in regression, he's pretty strong. So, well done. But yeah, congratulations again to Master Sheep for winning based on 3 rounds of our draft. I think if we had gone farther, Sarah probably would have pulled it out. But Dom, exactly. The sad thing about Dom memeing is that his meme draft wasn't actually terrible. Sarah makes an amazing point. I thought his draft was way worse than it was, and honestly, he still has a shot. Like it's me and Brustar pulling him down, but everyone else, like, he's in there.
Oh man, you think Brustar is pulling me down? Brustar is the secret weapon.
Yeah, Brustar, he's gonna have the fucking season of a lifetime. Like, dude, you thought fucking Tristan Leung was fucking good? When did you see this guy?
He's gonna make Tom Shoe's Triple Crown look like shit as a pitcher.
Got him.
So he's gonna
Triple Crown as a batter.
Bro, he's gonna get the quadruple crown. Okay.
There you go. You heard it here
Leads
first.
the league in
Quadruple crown.
batting average, home runs, and ERA. It'll be the weirdest Triple Crown ever.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the perfect note to end it on. This is the longest podcast we've ever done. We're just not getting paid right now. This is ridiculous. We could do it part 2 tomorrow. It wouldn't be for double media though. It would just be regular media. But we could wrap this up, or just leave it here and do a fun topic next time, which I think Dom is more inclined to do. So we'll probably do that. Yeah. But thanks for listening. Thanks for participating. Any final thoughts? Sarah, go ahead and type yours. Dom, what's your final take here?
Happy birthday, Shu.
Happy birthday, Shu. We're big fans. Congratulations on 3,782 years old.
When he joined recently, I think we were recording a podcast. It might have just been it was the podcast we recorded when everyone was really upset about the Hepcats thing. And it was the first time I talked to Shu. Very cool guy. Very cool.
Yeah. And for the record, Shu, I did pick you. So and I actually stole you.
I picked you.
I want to say it was 7th round. Yeah, I got Shu on a bargain. So that could be my weapon here. Sonic, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I got 2. All right, so fantasy group number 2 is better than fantasy group number 1. I'm sorry, guys. That's just how it has to be. And my second thought is, I wish Bauer was my dad.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too.
Everybody does. That's
Do I get or lose points for tagging the wrong person every time?
Unfortunately, it doesn't affect your points. You should lose points, but it doesn't affect them.
I was hoping I'd get negative.
Fair.
What I've learned from this podcast is next draft I really need to step it up by throwing hard. So I will exclusively draft worst players.
I mean, that's a good way to get yourself and potentially your draft group disqualified. But yes, absolutely.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Nice. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Dom will make sure nobody gets paid.
I don't need to win. I just need Sarah to not win.
Just needs to burn the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's great. Yeah, it's it's not fun being in the same group as Sarah every single time, because it's just not fun losing all the time. So I get that. I'm with you.
The Swifties are punching the air right now.
Right on. And Sarah's final thoughts are final thoughts. Yeah, we tied. I didn't beat you. We tied. That's not. So you're right. I didn't lose to you, but still, I have never beaten you in fantasy. And looking at this draft, I don't think I will this year either. But we'll see. We will see.
Chris Fraud Jacob.
Chris Fraud Jacob. You heard it here first. Chris Fraud Jacob. He makes the lawyers jump. I don't know. I don't know what that meant.
That was so stupid.
I'm so tired, guys. This has been a lot of talking for me. But yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate everybody. And yeah, I'll see you on the field. Take care.